In a Harvard dorm room in 2004, a small website opened its doors to students who wanted to see and be seen. Mark Zuckerberg and his classmate called it the Facebook. It felt like a campus notice board that suddenly learned how to introduce people. The site spread from one university to the next, then to high schools, then to the whole world. By 2012, the company went public in one of the largest tech IPOs ever, the kind of debut that turns a founder's college project into a global company. The brand name most people knew was Facebook, a blue app that turned social life into a daily habit. Growth at this scale never happens by accident. Facebook kept making one big, simple choice: be where people are, and move with them when they shift. Photos were exploding on phones, so in 2012 Facebook bought Instagram for about $1 billion, a move many called expensive for a tiny team with no revenue. In 2014, as messaging took over the mobile screen, Facebook agreed to buy WhatsApp for roughly $19 billion, then one of the biggest tech deals ever. According to Reuters, those two decisions gave Facebook three engines: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, that covered status updates, photos, and private messages, the main ways people share online. The business model was advertising, but the real product was attention made useful. If you scrolled, the company learned what you liked. If you posted, it learned what your friends liked. The more relevant the feed became, the more time people spent, and the more valuable each ad slot was. By the mid-2010s, the company had turned into a machine for matching billions of micro-moments with millions of advertisers. In 2024, Meta, the parent company's new name, reported $164.5 billion in revenue and $62.36 billion in net income, with its family of apps, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, generating the profits that powered everything else. Then came a scene change. In October 2021, the company rebranded as Meta. The message was, "We won the phone, now we'll try to build what comes after the phone: virtual and mixed reality, smart glasses, and a more immersive internet often called the metaverse." The Facebook app kept its name, but the company tried on a bigger identity: Facebook. At the same time, Meta stayed very much in the here and now of social media. When the world wanted short video, it pushed Reels inside Facebook and Instagram. When Twitter, X wobbled, Instagram launched Threads in July 2023, and the app hit 100 million sign-ups in 5 days, one of the fastest consumer launches in history. 2 years later, Meta said Threads had grown to 400 million monthly users, turning a quick experiment into a meaningful public conversation network. If you want the company's scale in one breath, in June 2025, 3.48 billion people used at least one Meta app every day on average. In that same quarter, Meta reported $47.5 billion in revenue. The Facebook app itself still counts in the billions of monthly users, even after 2 decades of competition and change. The flywheel, people, content, ads, kept spinning. But every great growth story throws off shadows, and Facebook's shadows were about trust. In 2018, the Cambridge Analytica scandal exposed how user data could be harvested and misused. In 2019, the US Federal Trade Commission hit Facebook with a $5 billion penalty and new privacy restrictions, the largest privacy fine on record at the time. The lesson was blunt: scale multiplies responsibility, and you pay dearly when your controls are weak. In 2021, internal documents shared with reporters and lawmakers, often called the Facebook Files, sparked debate about how Facebook and Instagram affected teens in public discourse. The company pushed back, but the narrative stuck: algorithms that maximize engagement can also push content that harms. It wasn't a one-week headline. It became a long conversation about what safety and well-being should mean in a product used by billions. Another hit came from outside. Apple's app tracking transparency rules in 2021-2022 made it harder to target ads on iPhones. Meta told investors the change would cut about $10 billion from 2022 revenue. When your engine is advertising, a privacy switch on the world's most profitable phones feels like a speed bump that suddenly became a wall. Regulators also met Meta at the door. In 2025, the European Commission fined Meta €200 million under the Digital Markets Act over its initial pay or consent approach to data use across Facebook and Instagram, pushing the company toward less personalized alternatives for people who don't consent. The amount wasn't fatal, but the signal was loud, defaults and data flows would be policed, and the rules of the ads game were still changing. Digital strategy. Meanwhile, Meta spent heavily on its future bet. The Reality Labs division, VR headsets, smart glasses, mixed reality software, became a long, expensive road. In 2024, Reality Labs posted a $17.7 billion operating loss. Leadership told investors losses would increase in 2025. Meta could afford it, thanks to the ad machine, but the gap between the present, business as usual, and the future, glasses on your face, was obvious. SEC. Inside the company, the response had two parts. First, efficiency. In late 2022 and through 2023, Mark Zuckerberg said Meta would run a year of efficiency, cutting costs and layers after years of rapid hiring. Painful layoffs followed. The tone shifted from grow at all costs to ship faster with fewer steps, a mindset that stuck even as revenue rebounded. Second, AI everywhere. Meta leaned into AI to recommend content, the discovery engine that powers Reels, to improve ad targeting and measurement after Apple's privacy changes, and to build assistants that might one day live in your glasses and your chats. If you listen carefully, you can hear the strategy in the story. Keep the family of apps strong, Facebook for community and groups, Instagram for creators and culture, WhatsApp and Messenger for private and business messaging, and make them talk to each other so growth in one lifts all. Stay aggressive on distribution. If there's a new on-ramp to attention, short video, text conversations, creators, build a lane or buy one. Turn AI into both a better feed and a better ad system so relevance improves even when data rules get tighter. And keep placing long horizon bets, glasses, VR, mixed reality, even if the financials hurt in the short term, because platforms shift over decades, not quarters. You can see the logic whether or not you like the outcomes. The same plot, if you squint, reads like a sort written into scenes instead of slides. The strengths are scale and habit. Billions open a Meta app every day, and the ad system can turn intent into sales at massive volume. The company also has optionality, multiple apps, deep pockets, and a growing AI toolkit. The weaknesses are tied to trust and dependence. When privacy rules shift or a scandal hits, the core ad business feels it. When younger users drift to the next thing, Facebook the app fights inertia. The opportunities are big. AI-driven discovery that keeps people entertained, business messaging that turns WhatsApp into a customer service and shopping channel, Threads is a civil public square, and lightweight smart glasses that might finally make AR normal. The threats surround the castle, regulators rewriting rules in Europe and beyond, fierce rivals in video and chat, and the risk that the metaverse bet takes much longer, and much more money, than planned. Each of these four boxes shows up not as bullet points but as turning points in the story. The numbers keep the tale grounded. Founding in 2004. IPO in 2012. Instagram in 2012 for about $1 billion. WhatsApp in 2014 for about $19 billion. Corporate rebrand to Meta in 2021. Threads launch in July 2023, 100M sign-ups in 5 days, around 400M monthly users 2 years later. $164.5 billion in 2024 revenue, $62.36 billion net income, with 3.48 billion people using a Meta app daily in June 2025 and $47.5 billion revenue in that quarter alone. Reality Labs' $17.7 billion operating loss in 2024 shows how costly the future can be. These aren't trivia, they're mile markers for a company learning in public how to balance today's cash engine with tomorrow's dream. What about the challenges that make the plot tense? Start with privacy and safety. The Cambridge Analytica era and later disclosures forced Meta to accept that, move fast and break things, breaks trust first. New rules like Apple's at cost real money. European enforcement under the DMA forces product changes that can ripple through the ad system. Then there's competition, TikTok for attention, YouTube for creators, 1,000 messaging and community tools nibbling at the edges. Finally, there's the metaverse gamble. Meta has to convince people that glasses and mixed reality aren't just cool demos but useful, everyday tools. None of this is easy, but none of it is a surprise. This is what it looks like when your platform becomes part of the world's daily routine. Every debate about society eventually knocks on your door. So what should young entrepreneurs and business students take from this story? First, distribution wins. Facebook didn't just build features, it owned on-ramps, news feeds, photo feeds, messaging threads, where people already lived. Second, buy before it breaks you. Instagram and WhatsApp looked pricey, but they were cheaper than losing mobile sharing and messaging. Third, respect the rule makers. If your model depends on personal data and defaults, you are negotiating with regulators forever. Make compliance part of the product, not a patch. Fourth, diversify the present while funding the future. Meta keeps the ad engine healthy while spending a lot on the next platform, even when the spreadsheet screams. Fifth, tone is strategy. Moments like the year of efficiency showed that culture can be reset when the world changes. Shipping faster and simpler isn't just morale talk, it's survival. Picture the closing scene. A grandmother in Manila shares a birthday photo on Facebook. A teenager in Lagos watches reels and sends 3 to friends on WhatsApp. A designer in Mumbai posts a product drop on Instagram and replies to customers in DMs. A journalist in Sao Paulo scrolls threads to see what the crowd is thinking. None of them say Meta, they say Facebook, Insta, WhatsApp, Threads, the familiar doors they walk through each day. The company behind those doors is still trying to be two things at once: the steady utility that helps billions stay connected and the restless builder that spends today's profits chasing tomorrow's platform. If Meta can keep trust rising as fast as features, the story that began in a dorm room will keep unfolding, not as a perfect fairy tale, but as a long, complicated, and very human project to connect the world. Thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel as yet, then please like, subscribe and share. See you in the next video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, then please like, subscribe and press the bell icon.